Buckhead. That's where I live. People normally say, hey, you live in Buckhead. Wow, ooh, MalaniKai, look at you. Oh, you're something else. I live in Buckhead. So there's Buckhead, and then there's Buckhead. Buckhead. This past Thursday, my dear friends, Bill White and Brian said, hey, we're going to pick you up for dinner, and we're going to celebrate the new show and talk about some things. And I said, okay. And they send me where we're going. They said, we're going to Hal's. I know Hal's. Hal's is right up the street from me. I'd never been to Hal's before. So I knew these guys were going to take care of it. And I'm about to tell you the difference between Buckhead and Buckhead. We're about to step inside the lifestyles of the rich and famous. And I got a chance to go in. I witnessed it one other time before when I was training for the WNBA. My agent at that time I think he's a CNN analyst. He was Mark Nejame out in Florida. And I'll tell you that story another time. We've got more Saturdays. But I'm about to take you inside the Buckhead lifestyles of the rich and famous. So Bill and Brian said, hey, we're going to pick you up. We're going to Hal's. So the first thing I do, I want to know where I'm going. I pull up Hal's menu. Hal's doesn't have any prices. There's no prices. So I was like, okay, all right, I got you. It's one of those places. Hal's has no prices. Billy and Brian come and they pick me up and we get to Hal's and I walk into this place on a Thursday night and it is like the underground steakhouse of the people that just have way too much money. And we sit down and I'm like, wow, and everybody's knows Bill and Brian and everybody's talking and hugging and Hal happens to be there, who I happen to meet. By the time it's time to order, we're having great conversation. And I wanted to see what the menu that doesn't have prices on it. So you already know what's up with that. So I said, oh, Billy, Brian, you guys order for me. And I heard wagyu steak. Now, I've watched a lot of the Food Channel. I've watched Parts Unknown. I've watched a lot of food stuff to know that when I hear wagyu steak, I think I'm pronouncing it right. I think I am. I think so. I knew that this was a high-end steak. And when the server was telling us the specials, and I was like, oh, please, you guys order. And I was like, please, Brian, Bill, order the wagyu. I want to be able to try it. And don't get me wrong. I've been around the world. Got a lot of stamps on my passports. I've got friends who have money. I'm talking about money. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going into a deeper dimension. I am in a money place. I grew up on Ponderosa Steakhouse back in the day. I had rib tips. That's what we did. Once in a blue moon, I think I could get a T-bone steak. So this is a whole different steakhouse world. For this small town preacher's kid from Troy, New York, grew up some of my time on a farm. Even when we did move off the farm and move to other places, my mom was a real estate agent and she used the money to help the church to flip houses. So we did live a nice little English tutor. So I'm not ignorant to nice things. But I'm in this place right now. And I'm telling you, if you guys remember back in the day when Oprah was handing out cars, like, you've got a car. They were flying around wagyu steaks. Like, you got a wagyu steak and you have a wagyu steak and I looked around and said, who are these people? Like, when you just float around wagyu steaks and that other thing that I was just eating with my fork, mind you, I'm vegan, right? I wake up every day vegan, and then it depends on how the day goes. But I woke up that day vegan, but Brian and Billy wanted to go to Hal's. Now there's wagyu steaks flying all over the place. Like, everybody has a wagyu steak. People have 2 wagyu steaks. There was a drink there that Billy said, see that over there? That's $45. I said, what are you talking about right now? And I'm looking around and I said, who are these people? This is just a little bit above me. Like, it's way above me. And I appreciated being there. And one of the things I appreciated the most is I love Atlanta. There were people in there who looked like me. Now, I know it probably looked weird for them because I walked in with these 2 hunks of white guys. And there goes MalaniKai with dreads. We were dressed nice. I walked in, saw the first black lady look at me. And, she's probably, oh, please don't embarrass us. And I'm thinking they're probably like, what's going on? Like, why is people didn't get it. And when we moved into our first neighborhood in Guilderland, New York, our first middle-class neighborhood, there weren't very many blacks there. And I remember the one black family that was there. I think they were embarrassed of us. And we're like, we're okay. We're not going to embarrass you. So I felt that way when I walked in the house. It was so beautiful. I saw so many people of color. I guess in the movies, you just don't really see that many people of color in these types of restaurants. And I thought this was cool, but I noticed one lady was kind of looking at me. I wanted to say to her, I can make my subjects and verbs agree. I am okay. I was not going to embarrass you. I promise all my life I had to fight. I had to fight everybody. I'm not going to do color purple on you. I literally can make my subjects and verbs agree. Ma'am, I'm not going to embarrass you at all. And she was just looking at me. Then another black person looked at me. I was like, guys, I know I'm with these two hunky white guys. I know you're trying to figure it out, but I'm good. Black power. Throw the fist up. Wakanda forever. Trying to give them little secret signs that I'm good. We're good. I'm not going to embarrass you. And this is not anything funny going on in House Steakhouse. And finally, it was so cool. The lady looks at me, the one lady that was staring at me, she said, she looks at me and she's still looking at me. And I'm like, they're probably, what the heck is going on? And she says, I love your hair. And this was my time to show that I could speak proper English. And I said, ma'am, I got in my radio voice, which is my probably everyday voice. I enunciated the best that I could. I said, thank you so much. It's really nice of you to compliment me on my hair. And it was just a great experience. But I thought when you eat wagyu steak, you're just saying to everybody else, we're just better than you. Like these people are out there on a Thursday and it's normal. They know each other. They're high-fiving. People are hugging. Hal's coming over. Hi, Mr. Hal. Nice to meet you. And the little wagyu steak was this size for $50 billion. I said, you guys do this often? Oh, yeah. We're here all the time. I said, wow. So that was my experience at Hal's. I had one other experience like that, but the wagyu steak, oh my goodness. And then rich people problems because Billy and Brian are at the table. Brian says you just eat the wagyu steak with nothing. Billy is ordering horseradish and A1 and they're having rich people problems like conversations. No, Billy, you're not supposed to dip it. MalaniKai, do not dip it in the A1 sauce or the horseradish. And Bill saying, no, dip it in. I was like, I don't relate. But anyway, wagyu steak, it was amazing. It was amazing. So I'm Buckhead. My people, they're Buckhead, and you guys have a lot of money. Money, 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 money.